another day, another lawn mowing. This one has definitely seen better days. It's pretty dirty, but I turned the blade. It has compression. I was going to just pull the cable, but I don't know if you can see that. It has, let's see if I can zoom in real quick for you. It has that on it. It's like a screw. It's like a clip. So obviously that's not going to be working out very well. In addition, it's missing this cover. Looks like the dog decided to chew on the gas cap. That usually means water. That's also not necessarily attached. So what I'm going to do is, you've seen dozens of carb rebuild videos. I'm not going to start that again. But I'm going to do the carb. I'm going to pull the cover off. We're probably going to have to put another cable on it because the little stop is all the way up there. I'm sure if you gave it a pull, it'd be like 2 feet wound up in there. So I'm going to take off the carb, get that cleaned, bring you back for the recoil, and we will go through some of the other items on it. You know what? I think I'll just show this anyway. Why not, you know? We're all buds. Okay. I already took off the cover. It wasn't bad. This fuel line actually looks pretty good, feels pretty good. I'm going to take off the little clip before I take off the fuel line. Take off the breather hose, because that usually makes it a lot easier to take this off. This clip not wanting to cooperate. The little tube that goes for the crankcase vent is in the way sometimes of the clip, so it kind of makes it a little difficult sometimes to take it off. Let's see if I can do it without fuel pliers. Usually, if you can just kind of rock it off or twist it off, it'll come off. This is not the case. Let me grab the fuel pliers. And you don't necessarily need these fuel pliers. I mean, any pair of pliers will do. This is just nice because they put an equal amount of pressure everywhere, so it's not like you're crimping down in one specific area, which can cause just mainly annoyances when trying to take it apart. I think there is just a little bit of fuel in here, so it's... The tank itself looked dry, but obviously not. Yeah, just a little bit. Not too bad. It will drip a little bit, but I'm okay with that. To put in comparison, this coffee cup is pretty small. This is a 1/4 inch. Just joking. Yellow. It's what to expect. Okay. Let's take off that carburetor, 3/8. Something that is kind of promising is looking at the spring. It is actually the way it should be, so that's good. For whatever reason, people end up over-revving them. And yeah, I can understand why they think it's a good idea. It's just not. What that will do is there's a governor inside there. man, springtime. Killing me. And anyway, if it over revs, it's constantly wanting to keep the engine down, so it's going to try to do so. When doing so, it's going to keep on spinning faster and faster in order to do that. And if it continues to spin faster than it was designed to, it could explode, ruining the engine. So you don't obviously want that, so don't really mess with this. It could go slower, it's not going to be detrimental, but going too much faster. I mean, it's designed to be at 3600. If it goes up to like 37, 38, nothing bad is going to happen with that. But once it starts getting to like 4,000, 45, 5,000, then it really becomes a problem. Okay, I'm going to put everything away and get started on the other project. Okay, so now we're at the carburetor station. Loosen. Let us. Nah, we already know it's nasty. We don't need more of the cast. Loosen. I got this little plate because I found something on the internet. I forget where. I think it's from a guy named Bruce, if I remember correctly. He has a pretty decent amount of videos out there. He's pretty interesting to watch. Anyway, and it actually is great. Once every year or two, I just throw it out, run to the store, pick up another one for 99 cents, and have another one. Same thing with the towels. That's fine. That's fine. Let's put all this in the spare bowl. It's actually very clean. I'm very surprised. Even the seal is in very good condition. Let's look at the jet. The jet, however, is not. That's going to be needing a good soaking. Okay. Go ahead and put this in the cleaner and be right back. Okay, so carb's soaking a little bit more. This is about 7 feet of line. But I wanted to show something. I was taking off the pull cord, and this was on there. So, I don't know if you know anyone with less than 10 fingers, but if you do, chances are this is the reason why. Imagine putting your fingers in there and pulling. Now, inside of here, which we'll take off now, is the flywheel. Magnet. Right now, that's where the magnet is. So when it passes through here, it fires. So let's say you were to run into something, accidentally, intentionally. I don't know how you know. You know, you be you. But imagine you were to do that and break the little pin in there that keeps the flywheel in time. Because if that were to happen, the flywheel shifts, you then have a very good possibility of jumping time. Now, usually, I don't want to say that would be a good thing, but usually it just won't start. But if it's jumped just enough where it could still kind of run, it will. And when that happens, it actually kind of pulls back on the pull starter. So when you're pulling one direction and then the engine, which probably has a little bit of power going that direction, pulls on it the opposite direction, I'm pretty sure the weak point's going to break, and that weak point is your fingers. So point to the story. Don't do that. Okay. So that's done. I just shoved like a pick in there. I pulled the cord. So where's my... Okay, there we are. Yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory, but... Man hands, man hands, man hands, man hands, man hands. Okay. Do that to both sides. The unfortunate part is I'm going to have to get a new handle for this too. I already have some though. That's one of the things I take off when they are just junk. I don't know how well you're going to see that. My cameraman's working today, so it's a little difficult, but going through the little hole, and hopefully out the other one. Sometimes it likes to be difficult, like today. We did the other side. Naturally, the pick that I use would be ideal to kind of shove it through this little hole. You can do it, little string. There we go. And like I said, I don't know what type of knot's supposed to be there, but knot, half, under, roll over, and through the loop. Pull it tight. It's a big enough knot, but not too big, and it usually doesn't come undone. Okay, I'm going to find a handle and bring you back. Okay, other end. This is a normal Briggs handle. This technically should be the one that came with it. In there, it's just a little hole fits through there. You push it right through. It's like a little piece of plastic that kind of guides it out. That's why I like these. It's very easy to use. One piece, you don't have to worry about pin or anything. Same knot. There we go. Now I mentioned this before, but I also can't stress it enough. When you do this, don't just instantly let go. Let it go in gradually. Otherwise it will flip back and hit you in the face. Okay. Dogs work. Let's put it back on. That's been shown dozens of times. I'm just going to put it back on, bring the carburetor out, and then bring it back. Okay, have to backtrack a little bit. I put the carb on and it was starting to leak through the throat. So that says there's something wrong with the needle and or seat. I want to say it's the seat because of this main reason. Now, take this with a grain of salt because it's not always true. But in general, this should be a little lower. The float should generally be level. So I feel like maybe there's something wrong with that seat in there. So, we're going to replace it. And what the seat is this. It's not going to be able to be shown on the camera, but just a little plastic or rubber piece. One side there's a little ridge and a groove. The other side is smooth. And there's already one in there. Now to get it out, it could be kind of a pain. You can either take a screw it in there. You might damage the carburetor doing that. I like this method. You take air gun, blow through here, and you'll hear it just shoot out. Well, except for this case, apparently. Nope. Oh well. That's why we have this. This is actually a Tecumseh tool. It's a 670377. On one end there's a small little hook. On here there's a kind of a gauge on where a Tecumseh float should sit, and on the other end is a little pin to install a new seat. So it's actually quite useful. But you kind of shove it in there, get a good grip on it. This one's probably going to come out in pieces because it's old. Yeah, it's just ripping up in there. Ah, there we go. So now, old one, gone. So, this can be the annoying part. To my knowledge, I don't know if this is just ATF. To my knowledge, I don't know of a tool that Briggs makes for this, but I'm going to use its clumsy one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Put the ridges down inside so you don't see them. Push it in. Hopefully it doesn't come out when we pull this out. It did not. That's very good. Now, can't over stress this. Clean, and it doesn't look clean, it's stained, but it's clean. I take a little screwdriver, just kind of press down in there, make sure it's firmly seated. Don't press too hard, you don't want to damage it, otherwise we're going to redo it. And that should be it. Just to make sure, we are going to just make sure there's no dirt or anything. Literally, a smallest section of dirt can cause this problem. I already looked at it before, it looks very clean, so I don't think that dirt is the problem here. The unfortunate part is we won't know until we put it on if it worked. And it's not like it's an instant thing. You'll sit there and think you have a... Oh yeah, look at the level now. It's a lot lower. Anyway, you'll be sitting there thinking you got it done, and right when your hand starts patting yourself on the back, it starts leaking. You know what? I'm going to blow this out too. Cover your ears. Okay. Just in case. And when you do that, especially if you use carb spray, there's these two little holes on either side. Don't have the holes facing your face. It's a good way of getting water, gas, I don't know, whatever is in there sprayed right in your eye. Now, I'm the farthest thing from a doctor, but I'm pretty sure those fluids are not meant to go in your eye. Maybe water. But would you want this water in your eye? No. Okay, turn this off, give it a try again. Okay, I think we're pretty good right now. Let's go over new plug, new whatever this cover's called. Put screws down in this so it actually is down. Installed the cable, took off the riggery. Carb was cleaned. New air filter. New gasket. New pull cord. And the oil is a little low, but black. We're going to let it run a little bit, change it, and if it runs, change it. Sharpen the blade, wash it. I think it should be good. Let's push the primer a couple times and see what we get. Let's put this through first. There we go. Okay, well, there it is. Starts up and runs fairly decent. I might tweak the spring a little bit just to, because this sounds a little low. But other than that, yeah. I think the blade is definitely off a little bit because it was rattling a little, but that's not too abnormal. I still need to balance it. Okay, well, that's about it. Another Briggs, another day. If you like, definitely subscribe and keep on watching. I'll see everyone on the next one. Bye. Okay, one final piece about the shaking. So, blade wasn't horrible. I mean, definitely need to be sharpened until you look at the other side. That's surprising it didn't share the flywheel key. But, oh well. Okay, just want to show that's why it was shaking so bad. This is definitely not balanced. I put a brand new one on that has already been sharpened and balanced, but just want to show everyone that. Okay, this time for real. I'll see everyone later.